Apparently, Ohio is the place to be if you want really dumb stuff to happen to you. Not only are they trying to pass via a budgetary thing the ability for hospitals to deny LGBTQ people from being serviced based on people just going, hey, we don't like you. Our religion says that you can't be gay, so denial of your services, that's a thing you can legally do in Ohio based on that budgetary shit. So, that's funny. Jack the Vulture, thank you very much for donating $5. I don't know if you're going to use this for a frappe, but you deserve it. I might use it for a frappe. I probably will, actually. So despite the fact that it's already doing that, there's more that it's doing. We'll get into that here in a second, though. First, we have a bit of fan art that has been dropped in by a viewer and a friend of mine named Zedith. So thank you very much, Z, for the EV Suris. And now that we've had that little bit of serotonin out of the way, Ohio police chief kicked out after leaving a Ku Klux Klan note on a black officer's coat. I'll just let that one sink in for a sec. I'll just let it sink in. Just breathe it in for a minute. Take a second. Just exist with the information. Okay. Now that you've done that, we actually have footage of him doing... Remember, this isn't a random police officer. This was a police chief. Chief of his fucking precinct. So let's go ahead and check out that video there.
Campo last Friday at the department's copier, printing out a small note. He places it on the raincoat set aside for a black officer just before he enters the room. It reads Ku Klux Klan, the name of the nation's most notorious white supremacy group.
I said, I don't want to even hear about it. I said, you've already admitted to it. And I said, you've got 10 minutes to get out of this office. I said, I want your keys, badge, and that's it. Get out.
Sheffield Mayor Dennis Bring describing his conversation with the chief after learning details of the incident on Tuesday, brought to his attention by the union representing officers.
I asked him if he was psychologically okay.
Can you just imagine? Just imagine being this guy right here. Like, seriously. Dude right here walks out
Tuesday, brought to his attention by the
and he's
union
waiting,
representing officers.
He's waiting right there. He's literally waiting there trying to see what the reaction of the officer is going to be. Why? Why would you do that? What's the point of just sitting there waiting for the reaction? Do you desperately need to get your jollies off? Do you think it's a funny joke?
If he was psychologically okay yesterday. And he said, absolutely. He made a cone out of a newspaper, and he put it on himself, and he made a comment that you're going to have to wear this for the shift.
Bring met with the officer today to apologize for the chief's actions.
It took us 10 minutes to even talk to each other because we were both very emotional. And I apologized to him, and we talked about the situation, and he told me a little bit more, and I was like, I just flabbergasted. There's no one word to explain how disgusting this is.
Chief for 8 years and with the city for more than 30, Campo told me late this afternoon he was not fired, but retired, and that he has great respect for the officer whom he hired. He says the incident is being, quote, overblown, and that it was part of off-color humor.
Off-color humor. I just want to think, let's say that you're an African American, right? You're a person of color in the United States, and you are working. This is recent. This was like a fucking week and a half ago. You're going to your job, and your job is with the public. You're a police officer, which is already a hard enough job to do, especially with the systemic issues that you're dealing with. And your boss, regardless of what job it is, but especially a job where you have to work with the public, and especially a job that's been so scrutinized for having systemic racism baked into it, imagine this is what you think is this is what you think is okay as the person doing it, and this is what you do, or this is what you come into on your shift. Like, yeah, I don't think this is. Baba, I love you. Please stop trying to push my Switch off of my thing. But, you know, this would create a hostile work environment if I were in this person's shoes.
He knows what he did. He just, you know, playing it off like it's, I don't even think he fathoms how bad this is. And he's going to realize it. So, and shame on him, and you know what? I hope he gets whatever he deserves.
Like, just why? We'll go ahead and read the... I don't, no. Autoplay is dumb. Autoplay is bad. Go away. Autoplay. Let's go ahead and read the actual article. Was this an officer that did this? Rua, this wasn't an officer. This was the police chief. This was the chief of police who did this. Like, as an officer, like two peers just fucking around with each other, maybe. The chief of police, though? No. Surveillance video from the Sheffield Lake Police Department in Ohio shows the longtime chief printing a note that reads Klux Klan and placing it on a black officer's raincoat. Sheffield Lake Mayor Dennis Bring said he was made aware of the incident, which occurred last week, by the police union. Chief Anthony Campo was immediately placed on administrative leave, pending a review in the video. Of course, there was the stuff we already heard about in the video. The footage, which was obtained by the news station, captured Campo standing at the department's copier, placing the Klan printout on the coat. The KKK... And then it gives us information. The KKK was a secretive society organized in the South after the Civil War to assert white supremacy, often using violence. I like how it says the KKK was a secretive society. Does MSNBC not realize that the KKK is still around? Like, literally, Stone Mountain, an hour away from me, is where the third revitalization of the KKK took place. They still hold rallies in cities near me. Like... They didn't go away at all. They're still fucking here. Campo told WKYC in a phone interview that he retired shortly after being placed on leave. He added that it was meant to be part of an off-color joke, being overblown, and he has great respect for the officer whom he hired, according to the news station. Yeah, of course he did. So much great respect that he did a whole fucking thing there. NBC's news efforts to reach Campo and the police union on Saturday were unsuccessful. Well, of course they were. He spent 3 decades on the police force and became chief 8 years ago. Oh, boy. They're trying to get flyers in my area. Luckily, they were chased out quick. That's good. I'm glad that the KKK was chased out of your area. Too bad they're not chased out of Stone Mountain. Said, if you want to be white and a wizard, just LARP. Yeah, no, just go fucking play D&D if you want to be a wizard. Come on. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, why is this a thing that happens still in the United States? I don't get it. And why, as the chief of police, as an officer whose job it is to be a representation of the government to the public, why is this the thing that you do? I don't see what the purpose of this is. Like, from a PR perspective, in 2021, doing this is an absolute nightmare of a PR problem. Like, how can you simultaneously... Just think about it from the chief's perspective. Let's say you're the police chief, and you are in the middle of 2021. 2020 was filled with BLM rallies after the death of George Floyd, and this whole ordeal with the media was constantly breathing down your neck about systemic racism and about how the police need to be defunded and what have you. And it goes on and on and on. And you, as I would hope, a well-thinking person, a person with at least 2 brain cells that have potentially gotten some help, decided that the best thing you could do on camera was to do a fucking KKK post-it note on a person of color's raincoat. How do you read the room so badly? I have to know. And you've been working for the police for 30 years. You've been the chief for 8 years. I just want to know how this passes through your mind as an all right thing to do. Like, I'm not trying to say that the officer is racist in his heart of hearts. I don't care. I just want to know how you as an officer here think that this is an okay thing to do. And even if you think it's an okay thing to do, why you think now is the time to do it. Jalen says it's worse than just a person making a racist. It's a joke, bro. This person's supposed to be a public defender. Yeah, this person is a representation of the government to the public. Or at least he was. Just... I do not understand it. I do not understand it. Anyway, that was that. I'm frustrated. If you want to support the channel and what I do, there's ways to do so linked in the About page under here and also in the description under the YouTube video if you are watching over on YouTube. As always, everyone, insert end of video tagline here.